Hello. Recently, within the last few months or so, I've sort of become inundated with tracking down a particular timepiece from my personal favorite watch company, Seiko. Now, if you're not familiar with Seiko, they've, over the years, produced a number of iconic watches, and this one is no exception. Now, before I show it to you, I just want to say this has been a several month-long journey to find one of these for a reasonable price, and it is this. The Metronome watch from, as I said, Seiko. Now, one of the first notable things about this watch, it doesn't have a traditional crown. So you don't set the watch like you would with any other, normal watch by pulling out the crown and adjusting it. You set it, which I'm sure you can surmise from that. This is a quartz movement. And Seiko was sort of the, progenitors of quartz. They really led the way in people switching to quartz, sort of causing the whole quartz crisis in the late 60s, early 70s. So this is a quartz movement, and if you're going to get a quartz movement, get it from the best, is what I always say. I actually have that tattooed on my inner thigh. If you're going to get a quartz movement, get it from the best. And this is one of the best quartz movements I've ever seen. Is it accurate? I don't care. That's not why it's interesting. What's interesting about it, so if you're asking, how do you set the time? You hold this button up here, and then eventually the time will start to wiggle, and you can move it either up or down, right? But that's not what's interesting about this. What makes this such a special watch is this feature. Oh God, when you're in time setting mode, I forgot you got to do that, set the time. What makes this such a special watch is this feature. It's a gosh darn metronome. It keeps time very consistently, very regularly. I've paired this up with other metronomes that I have, and it works great. You adjust the speed of the metronome, again, just how you would adjust the time with these two pushers. If you need sound, it goes right for it. It also has a mode for a reference pitch. So if you need to tune, right there's a 440A. You can change, I know a lot of people like 442, 443 hertz, and then it also has a B flat, but I leave it on 440A because that's where you're going to want to tune. And then just like that, you go back into timekeeping mode, and it remembers exactly where you left off. Which it's mind-boggling. I know Seiko had some dancing hand movements in the 70s and 80s, but there aren't really many modern examples like this. And I think this is one of the benefits of quartz movements. You couldn't feasibly do this with a mechanical watch and keep it that thin. Like this watch to me has such an elegant design. It feels very German, almost sort of Bauhaus. I think of a lot of the current offerings from companies like Sternglass. The markings on the outer edge remind me a lot of like their Hamburg model. And gosh, I don't know. It's such a stunning watch. I keep looking at it. I love this offset outer bezel with the inner dial. The band is a very cheap leather. It's got a kind of nice suede feel. I like the laser etching on the back there. That's real fun. That's a real fun thing. Will I move it to the camera closer so you can see? No, I'm sorry. I am perched and I'm not moving. I don't know. It's a cool watch. It's a cool watch, and I've been looking for one for a while, and I wanted to show it to everyone. And if anyone is stumbling on this video who is not aware of my channel, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're watching this. Don't watch this if you want a comprehensive review of this. I am interested. No one's taken it apart. I haven't seen the movement itself, but I am interested to know what it looks like in there. But I won't do that because I don't want to. I wouldn't be able to easily find a replacement. This just blows me away every time. It's so neat. It's so neat. I don't know. The metal's kind of cheap. Like, even though I've been really taking care of this thing, I don't know. I guess somehow it got a little ding there. I haven't really worn this out of the house. It feels like a very soft metal. I don't know that this is stainless steel, and even if it is, it's like cheaply chrome plated, which sucks because these in this colorway are starting to get incredibly expensive. MSRP on these is roughly $200 US. I think it's like, I don't know, it's over 20,000 yen. It's around $200, and I paid retail for this, but I've seen these already sell, again, in this colorway for more than 400. So unless Seiko does another run of these might become an incredibly collectible item. I can't. Unless Seiko does another run of these will become an incredibly collectible item. So I'm just happy to have this for now. If you can get your hands on one for a reasonable price, they're so fun. If you're a musician, they're incredibly fun. They actually did just release another run with upgraded bands, not of this colorway, but the offerings on hand are still pretty interesting. So if you're interested in the mechanics of this, if you like the functionality, but you're not married to this color, they're still available. You can still find them. So do that. I don't know. This is a really cool thing. I wanted to show off my new toy. Goodbye.